Welcome back. Pleased to say, finally got it started. So, as the followers of the channel and subscribers know, I've had a little bit of an issue getting a spark on the car. Now I have had a couple of sparks. It was literally super. That was it, done. Spark was finished. And then it went away. So, anyway, I had no spark. So, cut it short, just to give you the quick lowdown of it. What happened, originally when I first put it together, I clearly can't multitask. When I originally first put it together, I had the wrong fuel pump relay in it. Now, I was worried that I'd fried the ECU. Also, don't forget, if you go back a few videos, I also thinned out the loom, so I effectively replugged the whole loom. Maybe it's not my best idea, so I suspect that either the loom or the ECU was at fault. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I bought another loom and ECU, had the exact same fault. No spark. Fuel pump was going, no spark. Now at this point I'm thinking, well, the fuel pump's going, so I've clearly got signal from the crank position sensor, because when you cranked it, fuel pump was buzzing, so don't know what's going on, everything seems to be right. Fault's down to the ECU or the loom, where I thought, new loom, same problem. I had a pal, cheers Rich, had a pal come all the way up from, we'll just say down south, and he brought up a spare kit with him, full ignition system, coil, the whole lot, loom, another ECU, tried all that on, still didn't work, exact same fault. Fuel pump would buzz, no spark. I kind of lost a little bit of interest in the whole affair when I couldn't get it going. I thought I fried the ECU. They thought looking for another ECU was not really something that tickled us, if I'm honest. However, last week, we'll put you about there. Last week, I called over to a friend who's local, and he has an early red top with Dizzy tape red top, yeah? He had one of them, so I took two ECUs over, plugged the two ECUs in, tried them, both ECUs worked. I'm thinking at this point, get in, it's not ECUs, it's got to be down to the loom. Got to be the harness at this point, because everything else was working, everything else was new, tried new sensors in, the whole lot, all the rest of it. It's got to be the loom. Fantastic. Now I'm driving back from his, and I'm thinking, what's the possibilities of 3 different looms having the exact same problem, which would suggest the same way I've broken in all 3 looms. So I'm starting to, by this point, I'm thinking, discount the loom a little bit. It might not actually be the loom. So where do we go from here? It's not the loom. Well, definitely 100% not the ECUs. Possible still the looms? I doubt it. So, start from scratch. Now, there's a few people in the comments when I've been asking for help have actually hit the nail. Well, not say on the head, but they've hit the nail. Black and white of it was, thought it was down to my crank position sensor, which is exactly what, there was a few people that says, oh, check for O-rings in your crank position sensor. Now I, again, discounted this information because I'd had the crank position sensor out 2 or 3 times. There was no O-ring in there. However, what I noticed when I got back and pulled it out and just double checked, because I wanted to just start from scratch, see where we go. What I noticed when I pulled it out and double checked, was a tiny little bit of crap stuck down in the hole, stopping the sensor going all the way home. Had to pick it out with a screwdriver. Just sort of, I would almost say snap it off. I think it was a little bit of rust. What's happened is, when I've stored the engine, I've had the engine stored now for best part of 15 years, I would say. When I first got it, I stripped a load of pieces off it. One of them being the crank position sensors. That hole's been open the whole time. And this is where I think I've gotten a little bit of rust in there. Soon as I've whacked the crank position sensor on, I'm getting a spark. I'll insert the video here. So we've got a spark, so that's it. So a bonus. We're on to getting the thing running. You'd think, yeah, fantastic. Just also like that, that's a good strong spark. I felt it when I touched the plug, and you'd go right up this arm, straight down this side, and actually ground out at the key. 2 days, my fingers were numb. Yeah, no worse than getting the spark belt. So I've got a spark. Where do you go from here? So, got a spark. Next thing, you start connecting the fuel lines. I want to get this run to this point. This is like, I'm determined, meant to get this running. So, connect up the fuel lines, chuck some water in it, because we don't know how long we're going to have it running for. We didn't want to, last thing we want to do is cook the engine, although to be fair, the engine comes back out, there's a good chance I might do the head gasket on anyway, just for how long it's sat. Fuel lines connected up. It starts and runs. It runs like an absolute bag of hammers. I'll insert a video here. Yep. Yep. So as you can see, it's running like a dog, won't idle by itself. I've got to literally keep the throttle pumping the whole time just to keep it going. You expect a 15-year-old engine? Yeah. So, turns out, the reason it's running like a dog is because I've got a keep big hole in the inlet manifold, which is for the brake servo pipe, which I don't have connected. So as soon as I plug that, the engine runs and it actually idles by itself surprisingly well for what it was. I'll insert a video here. So, idles by itself surprisingly well. Yeah, more than happy with it. It's a little bit tappity. However, I've got a water leak. I think my thermostat is shut. I think it's just seized shut. It's not grafting. So, can't get the thing up to temperature. A little bit gutted about that, because I really did want to run it up to temperature, get it hot, get the fan cut in, get the fan cut out, drop the oil while it's still steaming hot. Hopefully get it up to temperature, I'll put enough nice lovely warm oil through the lifters and sort of free them up and get them going a bit, you know. But didn't anyway. So I'm waiting on thermostat coming. Also have a fuel leak from the fuel pump itself, not from the pipe work. We had a few leaks from the pipe work, we've cut them back and sorted them out. But I had a fuel leak from the pump itself, actually leaking from the flange at the top. I think in among my pile of spares back in there, which behind this, in among my pile of spares, I think I might have a spare fuel pump, which is what I've come to have a look at doing now. So it runs, and it runs quite well, other than all being a little bit noisy. Bear in mind as well, on the videos, it has no back box on, centre section or anything. It's literally a front pipe straight through. Lambda sensor's not even fitted yet. The lambda sensor's literally just lying on top of the car for now. So that's where we're at. The car starts. Thank you very much for everybody who gave the help and advice. It's been quite a learning curve to get to this point. Absolutely over the moon. I feel very confident with this setup now. Just a matter of fine tuning it and dialing it in. I've got a few other things that I need to deal with. So next thing I need to be doing with the car, which is what the other thing I'm trying to get on with, is my fuel lines at the minute are literally just run down here and they just drop into a little jerry can here, and draw the fuel from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the fuel tank cleaned up. For those following my social media, will see that I've already started. I've cleaned up, let's just say, recommissioned the fuel sender unit, so that's all good to go. I've got to get the fuel tank done, get that a coat of paint, tank straps, get the tank straps a coat of, well, I was going to give them a coat of paint, but I've ordered an eBay powder coater. We'll see how that goes. Might be able to do a bit of powder coating myself, see how that pans out. Already got the oven all here set up, ready to go. So happy days. It runs quite well. I've got stuff I need to get on with. I need to address this loom as well, because this, hold on, yeah, we'll show you. I need to address there. I need to address this loom as well, because this loom is absolutely shocking. I need to pick out, harvest the wires that I need now for the engine management light, my diagnostic plug, and one or two other little wires that I've got in there. And then I'm going to wrap all that up with the cloth harness tape. So the loom, basically the loom will be done. I'll be happy with the loom once it's all done and finished. Yeah, that's where we're at. Absolutely over the moon that it's running again. Yay! And with that, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you very much for all the help. The people have been commenting. It's been unbelievable. The amount of people that have actually helped and assisted when I've had advice, needed advice and stuff, you know. Special thanks to Rich, who actually came, as I say, it's a couple hours worth of travelling for him to come up here just to try and give us a hand to get it started. As it happens, we didn't get it started, but, you know, the fact that he came up was more than enough. Beyond that, yeah, all I'm looking at doing now is just starting to get this tidied up. I want to get this running right, get it starting it running right, make sure I'm happy that the fan cuts in, cuts out, does what it needs to do, and then the engine's getting pulled again, so I can actually get my engine bay sorted out. Once the engine bay is sorted and painted, basically I can start final assembly of the car, putting the car back together again, hopefully, touch wood, over the next 2, maybe 3 months at the most. I'm kind of hoping to have this thing on the road and MOT'd and actually be out and about, maybe get to some shows this year for it. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be so much appreciated. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it means the absolute world to me. As I say, this was just a short catch-up video. I'll put another video probably over the next 4 or 5 days, give or take, of what we're actually, the progress that I'm actually getting on with. So thanks a lot for watching once again, and we'll see you all the next time. See you later.